Barry Tate, we are the perfect ones for setting this thing straight, at least trying to do our bit. You gotta understand that Israel, since 1948, it might as well be like Disneyland with just bombs and really bad people doing bad things to their neighbors. Because they're taking out their worldview on the very people that took care of them for thousands of years, and vice versa. Everybody got along good until after 1948 and all the European Jews that are not biblical Jews. You gotta understand everyone. But the Bible was done being written let's say the year 400 at least. That's conservatively speaking. These people from Europe that call themselves the Jews, that didn't even call themselves Jews until the 8th century, the 700s, and then it was because Genghis Khan, everybody had, the whole thing. It's too much history and it's too much to talk about, but it's just that they decided they had to be called Jews because they were forced into it. Now you're the Jews. Doink. Okay. So then the Jewish Holocaust of World War II that now is being put upon the Palestinian people who had nothing to do with World War II or World War I or the Balfour Convention or Declaration. All of this stuff is BS. Now Barry, as a biblical scholar, and me as a guy who's got a degree but doesn't consider himself a biblical scholar and is not a theologian, we should help put this thing right just by saying, really, we got to start talking about the truth about this. So really, when you got a guy like Netanyahu, who is a pretty bad guy, claiming that he's from this part of the world, and they find an ancient shard that has the word Netanyahu on it, and he says, see, this is what I stand for, and he's really got a made-up name, and his family is from Poland. That should show you. And then they're killing off all of the real native of that population, just the way North Americans are sitting on Indian land that belongs to people who were never from India. This is all one big, huge, crazy thing. But even though you temporarily upset the apple cart, maybe, the truth is the best way to handle this thing. Just like Jesus would say. Jesus would say right now, well, unless we stop hurting the Palestinians, that's first. We got to do that right now. We got to stop. And then look at all this land that's been stolen. Well, that's no good. That's deserves to have tables overturned and whips. That was Jesus' way of doing things sometimes when he would get too frustrated. Like I'm frustrated from 50 years of trying to convince my family that lies are lies and truth is truth. Being decent to people is being decent to people, and being terrible to people and accusing people and, looking in your minds, imagining gay people with their clothes off, doing things to each other, or whatever it is you right-wingers think of that makes you hate gay people so much. Somehow the abortion thing is also about that, because if you anti-abortionists really cared about the babies, you care about the babies that are coming out with 19 limbs because of depleted uranium. And you would know what that is, and you would know why there's depleted uranium all over the Middle East. You'd know stuff like that. You'd know about how embargoes murdered 1 million children. You'd know about things like that. You'd know what the war is doing. You'd know what drones are doing. So don't give me your rhetoric. Give me your empathy, please.
Metro V. Reynolds Production. Metro V. Reynolds. Metro V. Reynolds Production. Metro V. Reynolds. Metro V. Reynolds. Metro V. Reynolds.